YouTube has decided to not share my videos with everyone who subscribes. Please follow me on social media to stay up to date. This one is interesting to me because I want to talk about this one. Finally tonight. The Disney streaming service is not dependent on the Fox acquisition. And I find this to be interesting because we know that Disney's putting up $54 billion in order to get their hands on 20th Century Fox's entertainment assets. All right, we know this. And we know that Comcast is sliding on in with a $60 billion offer, $32 billion of which is a cash offer for Sky News and then the rest of the stuff that Disney wants. And that's all being done in order to basically act in parity with AT&T if it is allowed by the Federal Trade Commission in order to for their merger or their acquisition of Time Warner. It's one of those things where it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this. Now, Bob Iger of Walt Disney confirmed that Disney's upcoming direct-to-consumer streaming service will be driven by the company assets that would include the likes of Pixar, Marvel, and Lucasfilm. Iger also stressed that the streaming service won't be dependent on the company's pending acquisition of the film and television assets of 21st Century Fox. And they don't have to. They've got enough of a library of everything to sustain themselves for quite some time. But I do believe that the acquisition of 21st Century Fox, a lot of it is obviously X-Men related. I think it's X-Men related because they want to be able to get those characters in. They want to be able to maintain the longevity of the MCU, a franchise that, while it is 19 films in over the course of 10 years, has grossed $16 billion. They don't want to mess with that, and this is a worthwhile investment on their end. Never mind the fact that the acquisition of 21st Century Fox would also get their controlling stake, or their stake in Hulu, which would then give Disney a controlling stake in Hulu, which would then allow them to run all of Fox's content on that streaming service while profiting off of that directly, at the same time using it as probably a portal to this new direct-to-consumer streaming service. So it's not dependent on, but it's definitely going to help. Now, Iger spoke with Wall Street Journal or Wall Street analysts regarding what to expect, emphasizing that Disney's current assets, and there are plenty of content for consumers even before the 21st Century Fox acquisition is finalized. Yeah, 100%. I mean, look, here's the thing. How many freaking Disney animated movies are there? How many sequel after sequel after sequel after sequel of The Little Freaking Mermaid are there out there? You know, how many Tinkerbell movies are there? There's like 5 Tinkerbell movies. There's a lot of that stuff. And the reason why is because Disney puts this stuff out constantly. They know their home video market does very, very, very well. Plus, you've got their entire back catalog. I mean, come on. You're telling me that you wouldn't want to sit there at 2 in the morning and pop on a stream of the original Peter Pan or the original 101 Dalmatians? Like, hell yeah. You wouldn't want to sit there and watch Disney afternoons? Just imagine. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, right? Tailspin, Gargoyles, right? Darkwing Duck, 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 Duck. I'm just saying, like, you could have a Goofy movie, a Goof Troop, and there's so much content there. They don't even need this, right? It allows them to buy the brand. It allows them to get access to certain materials, but they ultimately don't freaking need it. All I'm saying is you give me access to gummy bears, I'm chilling, right? I've got a freaking 5-month-old that will grow up on the same crap I did, and I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that entirely. So yeah, I understand, like, you know, he's going to play it off like this isn't really going to impede us, but it makes sense that they want to go for it. But yeah, you ultimately don't need it. Now, he says it's not dependent on the assets we're buying from Fox. It has to become the destination to watch Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, and Pixar products. That means that ultimately weaning ourselves of product being available any other place except for first-run linear channels. And yeah, like they're going to want to get off of Netflix, and they're going to want to get off of Hulu and all those other things, but it does make sense. Iger stressed that more details regarding Disney plans for the streaming service will be revealed in the coming months. He also expressed confidence with what's to come, saying, "We're feeling quite good about the direction we're headed there. We're looking for quality over quantity, not massive amounts of content. We're looking for high quality content utilizing those brands and franchises and the characters that fall into those brands." Now, we know that when it comes to Disney, especially when it comes to Disney, brands matter, right? It's all about merchandising. It's true. It's true. I mean, the Cars, 2006's Cars, right? Like, you probably go, that movie sucked. Maybe it did. I liked it, but maybe you think it sucks. Want to know why there was Cars 2, Cars 3, and 2 Planes movies? Because the first Cars brought in $1 billion in merchandise sales. $1 billion. So whatever, like, Marvel brings in just theatrically, think about what it brings in just through merchandise. Same with Star Wars and Pixar, right? These are the brands they want. And Fox has got a lot of very popular brands too. Again, especially X-Men. Bring it back into the fold, and all of a sudden we're going to start seeing X-Men comics again. Because we know that there's been kind of a bit of a rivalry there between Disney and Fox over the X-Men content. So expect it to be a thing. Now, along with this extensive library of content, Disney plans to produce new films and series that will be exclusively available to the service. One of these upcoming series is a live-action Star Wars show to be written and produced by Jon Favreau, and will take place 7 years after the events of Return of the Jedi. That is just, I just learned that. I did not have that story planned for today. So son of a bitch, look for that tomorrow. But at the same time, this is where we are right now. This is what it is. Disney doesn't need Fox, to be fair. Disney does not need Fox. But it's not bad for them to have it. It's not bad for them to be involved in that. You know what I mean? And so ultimately, I would argue that we're in a situation with Disney where they, you know, I don't want to say they're just going to kind of like shrug if this doesn't work out properly. You know, I don't think that's going to be the case. And that has a lot to do with the fact that it's $54 billion on the line. But at the same time, I think that they're kind of using this as a way to not be intimidated by Comcast. I think that's what it boils down to. I think Comcast coming in, trying to bully their way in. Bob Iger is going to be like, look, dude, I don't need this, right? I don't need this. We good. We fine. We make money. You know, I think that's a public front to make sure that they don't get themselves in a situation that could bite them in the ass later on. You know, on the overpromise, underdeliver aspect of this particular acquisition.